Good evening and welcome to Marcus Pavilion on the campus of St. Martin's University for the Western Washington Vikings against the St. Martin Saints. Hello again, everyone. Danny Bach alongside Sean Wally. Sean, great to have you along, calling one of the schools that's very familiar to you, but big matchup here as far as the standings are concerned. Number 4 ranked team in the GNAC going up against the 5th. This could be a potential playoff preview.
A big one here tonight in Lacey as Western Washington comes in, one of the hottest teams in the conference, only 8-6 in conference record, but man, they've won 8 of 9, coming off a win on Thursday night at Western Oregon. It's going to be a tough matchup for St. Martin's, but really either team could pull this off tonight, and it's huge for both of them moving forward.
And a huge game in that regard for many reasons. First, Western Washington, you mentioned they're coming in hot. Tijon Sane, one of the prolific scorers for Western Washington.
What a night.
37 points against Western Oregon on Thursday.
Feed him the ball. Sane is one of 3 that the Saints need to be aware of on the floor for Western Washington. They average over 14 points a game. You've got Sane, Kepley, Will Wilson out there, but also Levesque for Western Washington shooting 60% from the field.
Garrett Levesque also had a game winner against Simon Fraser earlier this year, so Levesque could be that hidden gem for Western Washington here today. For St. Martin's, a little bit of a different story. A loss against Simon Fraser in what was a game that the Red Leafs shot the lights out of Marcus Pavilion. When you have key contributors off the bench scoring massive points, then there's only so much you can do. So for St. Martin's, this is a true chance to get back into the winning fray.
And they definitely want to do that, of course. And sometimes you just run into a buzzsaw, and that seemed to be the case on Thursday night.
And now there is the addition of Marcel Stevens back into the lineup for St. Martin's after missing 2 games with an undisclosed injury. We'll see how Marcel Stevens is able to perform back into the lineup. And it's always a question coming in whether they'll be at 100% or how that might go. But for Marcel Stevens, the second leading scorer for the Saints team, it seems as if he'll be right back into the fray.
Tough for anybody to be at 100% this far into the season, just a couple of weeks left. But you want to get right, you want to get that body right, and be playing good ball this time of year.
Want to be playing that right ball at the right time, and one of those key contributors is Omer Ege Pexari. He had quite the day against Simon Fraser, career high 12 points in the loss. So Ege Pexari today earns his first start of the season, and you talk about putting in a lot of work, he's being rewarded today.
Rewarded is right, and you get the award, a reward for saying his name right off the bat. Good job.
Thank you, Sean. But again, big game in the standings for St. Martin's, not only this game, but also look ahead next week. 2 big games against Northwest Nazarene and then Central Washington. 2 opponents that are in the top ranks of the GNAC. So you're talking about getting ready for the playoffs here at Marcus Pavilion. Not only this game, but also the week ahead, a true test of what GNACs will be like.
Right now, everybody looking up at those 2 teams, Northwest Nazarene and Central Washington, playing great ball in conference. Tough test for the Saints coming up, but they got to deal with tonight first.
They got to deal with Western Washington. Last time these 2 teams met, Tijon Sane with the game-winning floater with no time left to win the game for Western Washington. It's well documented. Tijon Sane, he's going to do everything tonight for this Vikings team. He did it last time out, and he's probably going to do a whole lot more here tonight.
As Sane goes, so go the Vikings. He hit that big floater up at Carver Gym in Bellingham a few weeks back. He would love nothing more than the same here tonight, but the Saints don't want that to happen.
A look at last year for both these 2 teams, more of a high-scoring affair between these 2 opponents, the Saints and the Vikings. 112-105 was one of those scores. And
defense? What defense?
No such thing as defense on that day. So should be a fun stretch here today. 2 teams that have always been at the top ranks of the GNAC over the course of recent history.
And history goes a long way when you have coaches that have been entrenched a long time. Tony Dominguez, his 13th season steering that Viking ship. Aaron Landon in his 5th season putting down roots here in Lacey.
Both coaches well seasoned during their time, leading the way for both their programs as we are moments away from tip-off who knows what we're going to expect. We're going to see a lot of offense. Number 1 ranked offense in the GNAC, Western Washington St. Martin's in a third. So points, well, we might see plenty of them tonight.
Scoring, always a fun thing, offense, but somebody has to play D, and we will see who will come out on top here this evening.
Let's head down to the floor for our public address announcer, Joe DeBruni, with our starting lineups.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to St. Martin's University Marcus Pavilion inside the Twin Star Court for tonight's GNAC matchup featuring the Vikings of Western Washington University, who are currently at 16-8 overall, 8-6 in GNAC play, which is good enough for 5th spot. And the St. Martin Saints, who are the home team tonight, who are 19-7, 8-5 in conference play, and that is good enough for 4th spot. Before we meet the starters, it's time to please rise if you're able, remove your hats, and join us as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. And now I think the starters for the Vikings, a 6'4" freshman, number 2 is Grant Kepley. A 5'9" sophomore. Number 3, T-John Sane. A 6'6" junior, number 13 is Garrett Levesque. A 6'6" sophomore, check that. A 6'7" freshman, number 15 is Trevor White. And a 6'4" senior, number 44 is Will Wilson. Your head coach is Tony Dominguez, assisted by A.J. Albritton and Bob Hostead. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get on your feet to meet your Saints.
All-time meeting between Western Washington and St. Martin's. Glad you're with us on the Saints Digital Network. As we're set to begin, Western Washington owns the all-time series against the Saints, 137-68. as we settle in what should be a fun one between Western Washington and St. Martin's. Last year, these two teams met in incredible games both ways. First offensive scoring display, 112-105, a game that took place out in Bellingham, and then another matchup that took place here in Marcus Pavilion, a game-winning shot to end the game from Miles Samuels to give the Saints the season sweep last year. Western Washington looks for a sweep of their own here this evening. Trevor White will go up against Dyson Lighthall for the opening tip. And away we go from Marcus Pavilion. So here comes Western Washington, number one offense in the GNAC. Will Wilson quickly to Grant Kepley. Out for Sane, long three. Levesque missed it off the front end. Saved by Will Wilson, who closes in. No look pass. Garrett Levesque with the flush.
What a find from Wilson. And of course, Levesque shooting 60%. He misses his first shot, but right there for the easy money.
Quick answer off the miss. Ege Pixari from the right side. Jaden Nielsen-Skinner, Marcel Stevens, welcome back into the lineup. He runs straight into Grant Kepley. Ege Pixari right back to Lighthall. He'll survey, dished for Trejo Delgado, closing in off the window, and Trevor White comes away with the board. Kepley found Marcel Stevens instead. St. Martin's ahead. Jaden Nielsen-Skinner with a reverse. He'll head to the free throw line.
Kepley with the bad pass and then committed the foul. Thankfully for the Vikings' sake, wasn't an and one, because you don't want to cause the turnover and then do double duty on the other end. But hey, it's going to make him earn them at the line.
Jaden Nielsen-Skinner on the season, 85% free throw shooter. For Western Washington, you take your odds. First free throw does sink in for Skinny. So we'll pay attention to who will carry the load for St. Martin's. There isn't one particular player that stands out as far as scoring is concerned. Nielsen-Skinner misses on the second attempt. He'll float a jumper, and one that hangs on the rim, heads out of play. And possession, in the end, will stay with St. Martin's.
Shot's not falling yet for St. Martin's, but it is early. It's over a minute gone by.
Left side, Marcel Stevens on Kepley. Popped out. Levesque with the board. That was a good foul take from Kepley on the earlier end. Only led to 1 point. Look, and this is Trevor White now to Will Wilson. Tijan Sane. What a treat it is to watch Sane on full display. Faked by Wilson, taken by Wilson, and scored by Wilson.
Shot looked great. Great form, great rotation. Down it goes.
5-1 lead for Western Washington. Ege Pixari backs up. Looped it inside. Trejo Delgado on Wilson. Shoveled. Dyson Lighthall had it. Pop out. Shot's not falling for the Saints early. Here's Grant Kepley. Kepley right back out to Trevor White. His right-handed dribble on inside. Lighthall with the block. Skinny throws it off of White. Saint basketball.
You would have liked to see White there share the basketball. He had a nice idea to take his defender to the rack, but once he got double teamed, somebody's out there open.
Have to keep an open eye out. Here comes Jaden Nielsen-Skinner for St. Martin's. Looking for help. Lighthall open. He'll take the three. Misses it.
One.
Tijan Sane. Lighthall, no stranger to shooting the three. Sane down the lane. Blocked by Lighthall, but Sane is fouled by Skinny.
One thing you notice early watching this Viking team is their size. Everybody is over 6'4" except for Sane.
Incredible.
6'4", 6'6", 6'7", 6'4".
It's a lot of height.
Tall or fast?
There you go.
Which would you want?
Play that one out. It's not like we've heard that question before. Zane had the free throw pop out. 6-1 lead for Western Washington. Quickly, Dyson Lighthall with an easy 2.
Their first field goal at 17-20.
Took them a while to get it done. They only trail by 3. Here's Tijan Sane. Grant Kepley takes the pass out to Will Wilson. On Ege Pixari, first start of the year. White fakes it. Given to Kepley. You bet.
Hot shooting early for the Vikings.
Kepley splashes in the 3, the second made 3 of the game for Western. Stevens blew an edge, regained it. Skinny closing from the left side. Hard darted pass for the bucket by Lighthall again.
The outside shot not falling early for the Saints. Good idea to go to the rim.
So here is Tijan Sane. Wilson on Ege Pixari from the pocket. White, Sane wide open 3. Missed it. Skinny able to battle for the board. Stevens shoots the 3. Off the heel. Ege Pixari regains. How about Nielsen Skinner from the arm joint, looking for Lighthall again before Western Washington comes away, thanks to Garrett Levesque. Kepley. Plenty of ties to Western Washington. Detail more of that later on. White rehandles his dribble, and contact on Lighthall leads to the foul. Break in the action. And with that break, for over 40 years, O'Blarney's Irish Pub has been serving up delicious Irish-inspired dishes alongside your favorite American classics, making it the go-to spot for a great meal in the Olympia area. Whether you're craving a hearty shepherd's pie, classic burger, or something in between, O'Blarney's has something for everyone. Plus, don't miss Wing Wednesday, featuring unbeatable deals on wings every week. As a proud partner of Saints Athletics, this local favorite is more than just a pub. It's a community staple. Stop by for a bite, raise a glass, experience the tradition for yourself. Learn more at o'blarneyspub.com.
You can never go wrong with their Reuben rolls.
Their Reuben rolls are really that good.
Reuben sandwich in an egg roll. Amazing.
Looks like I know where I'm going after the game.
Get those Reuben rolls.
15:39 remains in the first half. Already off to an early start.
The story of the game. Yes, it's early, but the Saints only shooting 25%. Western doubling that at 50%. Western 50% from 3. The Saints have yet to hit. They are 0 of 3.
See what SMU can do after the early start. Dished in play from the end line. Here's Will Wilson. And play is halted. Kick ball. 4:25 into the first half. See what Western can do. They've had great courage from beyond the arc. Closing on in. Stuffed was Grant Holliday. Back comes Marcel Stevens.
Another great pass from Wilson, but even better defense on the block.
Nielsen Skinner to Ege Pixari. Across the Lighthall screen. Lighthall closes. Lost it. And escaping Tijan Sane. Left side Kepley. Wilson to Kepley for 3. No.
See, it was short when he let it go.
Here comes Skinny. Jaden Nielsen Skinner. Stevens spots Trejo Delgado. He'll look to close. And finally contact on Lewis Grant Holliday. One of the premier players for Western Washington, who was who earned all Metro League honors back in high school. Very tough league to play in. State of Washington. Miles Samuels into the game for the Saints, held off the score sheet on Thursday. Samuels, not today. He scores quickly into his playing time.
That ends a short, almost 2-minute scoring drought for the Saints. Western has not scored in more than 2 minutes.
Here's Will Wilson on Ege Pixari, and the officials say enough of that. Foul call. Called on Ege Pixari. So Western Washington will inbound from the inline. Tijon Saint picked off. Trejo Delgado. Quickly head. Miles Samuels kept in play. Nielsen Skinner straight to the bucket and scoring.
Great vision from Skinny, tying the ball game for St. Martin's.
We expect a lot of offense. It's all starting to heat up. Here from Lacey. Wilson chases. And off the knee of Will Wilson. Defended well by Ege Pixar. 9-7 lead. That was trimmed to 9 apiece. See what St. Martin's can do here. Sane covers Nielsen Skinner. Samuels has to chase after it. Deflected by Grant Holiday. Samuels on ahead again. Miles Samuels spins on Grant Holiday and scores.
St. Martin's definitely heating up from the field after a slow start.
Sane backs up on Skinny. Right side Levesque to Sane. Looks, lob for Kepley in the corner. Wilson on Marcel Stevens, closing inside. Hard pass right side, Grant Holiday. They've had his three-point attempt impeded. Stevens. Skinny from way downtown, missed it. Samuels, the offensive board. How about Stevens a second time? He's got it! Timeout called by Tony Dominguez. St. Martin's with a 14-9 lead. Saints fans, get ready for homecoming weekend from February 28th through March the 2nd, which will include the Distinguished Alumni Awards on Friday, Coffee with the Monks Saturday morning, a Saints doubleheader later that day, and Mass on Sunday. We are especially excited to induct the 2024 Bob Grisham Hall of Fame and Hall of Honor class on Saturday, March the 1st at noon in the Worthington Conference Center. Head to stmartin.edu/homecoming to register for events and learn more. 12:53 remains in the first half, and the Saints starting to heat up after a cold start.
Western hasn't scored in over 4 minutes. Saints on a 13-3 run in the last 4.5.
Remember, it was a 9-3 game. 3 minutes in, Western was up. Now they're looking for answers.
Basketball, typically a lot of ebbs and flows. Just got to maintain and stay close if you can, if you're the Vikings or any team that's down.
Missed by Wilson. Here comes Diego Trejo Delgado. Ege Pixari closing in on Kepley and scoring.
What a baseline drive.
If Ege Pixari is scoring, things are going incredibly well for St. Martin's. Here's Will Wilson. Look at him drive towards the bucket and short. Tipped in, Garrett Levesque.
Ending the 4.5-minute scoreless drought for Western.
Held low, Emmanuel Ladele missed everything. Grant Kepley enters in. His parents both played collegiately at Western. Different sports. Trevor White, no basket and a travel call. Timeout called by media timeout. Breaking the action. Oh, Blarney's Irish Pub is a proud presenting partner of Saints Athletics. There's no better place to go than a spot that's close to campus and a staple of the Saints community. Go to blarneyspub.com to learn more about Olympia's top destination for traditional Irish food, live entertainment, and sports viewing, or stop by at 4411 Martin Way East in Olympia. 8:08 elapsed time in the first half. Quick speed, quick pace, exactly as advertised, scoring, well distributed, electric start to the first half.
Both teams doing well and getting a lot of people involved. Saints have 5 different players that have scored. Nobody has more than 4 points. Vikings have 4 different players that have scored, and also nobody with more than 4 points. Apparently it's the evening to have 4 points right now.
Heck, Sean, you may even have 4 points for all we know.
I can manage 2 baskets or maybe 4 free throws.
Maybe, yeah, give you some chances at the line. You do have that height.
There may or may not be video out there somewhere of me hitting a half-court shot inside Carver Gym.
You did not.
I did.
Wow.
The great Ben Bagley, former Western student, now working for the Detroit Pistons, was my analyst, and he took the video.
Wow. Can we pull that up? Is there a way we can find that? I don't know how, but if we could pull that up, that would be great halftime entertainment.
That's exactly what it was, too. At halftime, everybody got to go down and shoot.
Surprised that you weren't on the team afterwards. Here's Ege Pixari.
Tony thought about it.
Samuels for 3. He missed it that time. Here comes Will Wilson. Look at him go drive coast to coast. Tijan Sane on Skinny. He lost his balance. He disappeared behind the end line. Will Wilson on Oladele. Travel call. Second one against Western Washington.
Too many turnovers the last few minutes for St. Martin's. For Western. That's the second travel in as many possessions.
Have to clean that up if you're Western Washington. Here comes Omer Ege Pixari. Trejo Delgado pays homage to Camargo, Mexico. Lost it. Into the game, Aiden Rice for Western Washington. Levesque harnessed. White 4-3. No.
Nobody crashing the boards in blue for Western.
Here comes Ege Pixari on Sane. Here's Nielsen Skinner. Fakes the 3. Oladele closing on Aiden Rice. Oladele had to roll off the tin. Rice. He'll slow it. Wilson from the right side. Out to Tijan Sane.
The Vikings need a bucket to stop the bleeding and the drought.
Sane to Wilson. Guarded by Nielsen Skinner. Levesque, great find. Will Wilson. And a foul called.
It's going to be a block. The Saints bench wanted a charge, but they did not get the call in their favor.
Diego Trejo Delgado called on the infraction for St. Martin's. Tyler Velasquez calling the shots. The associate head coach for St. Martin's. Led Saints 4th in the conference at this point. Western Washington at 5th. This could be a playoff preview. Vultured away by Emmanuel Adele. In comes Jay-Sean Moore, blocked on the play by Wilson. Oladele recoils the pass. Samuels implores Ege Pixari to move for Samuels to commit foul.
Offensive foul. Charge being called on the Saints.
We talked about how there's a lot of offense in this game, and, well, it's disappeared.
Ebbs and flows, up and down. Started slow for the Saints. They got hot. Now the scoring, as you said, has disappeared. And another turnover. That is 7 for the Vikings.
3-on-1. Oladele scores! Counting the foul for Emmanuel Oladele.
Oladele gliding through the air like a warm knife to butter.
Butter sounds really good right now.
Plain, just straight up.
Well, with something. Popcorn, yes. Oh, now you got me thinking about food. Oladele at the line. Missed chance for a three-point play. Jordan Tate got it out for Western Washington. Tijon Saint on Oladele. He scores! Counting the foul for Tijon Saint.
Saint, the great stutter step, stop and start in the lane, right to the rack.
And when you see that mismatch one-on-one with Emmanuel Oladele, there's not much you can do with how eloquent of a scorer Tijon Saint is. Averages 15 points a game. He only had 37 on Thursday. He's got another one there.
That's all, just 37.
Was a career high. Was 29 coming into the week. Jay-Sean Moore looks over the grid. And he's able to put one up, but rolled off the rim and out. And with contact, a foul call.
Saints now 1 for their last 6.
Grant Kepley, native from Bellingham, went to Seaholm High School for his high school ball, led Seaholm to state.
Basically across the street from Western Washington.
Not too far away from the green and yellow to the multiple shades of blue. At the line, though, Aiden Rice missed on the try. Here's Miles Samuels. Rendered to Jay Nielsen Skinner. Up high for Miles Samuels. Sane closes in. Ege Peksari popping open. Samuels takes the shot anyways. Rice snatches for Western Washington. Here's Tijon Saint on Jay-Sean Moore. Saint is fouled by Moore. And already that foul has put Western into the bonus, still with 8:45 left in the half.
Well, Western's going to need to convert these free throws. They missed their last one.
Third-ranked free throw shooting team in the conference.
Currently 50%. Now that'll be higher with that make there.
For Tijon Saint, only his second year with Western Washington, 89% free throw shooter last season, 4th most all-time in Western history. 2-point game after Saint, no surprise, goes 2 for 2. Skinny finds Miles Samuels. Here's Jay-Sean Moore. Flown, Oladele for 3, no. And the contact from Jay-Sean Moore instigates another foul.
Back to the line for Western Washington. Chance to tie the ball game.
So for Jay-Sean Moore, he picks up the foul. 19 foul for St. Martin's. So Aiden Rice at the free throw line. Hit a buzzer beater in his first ever collegiate game. Cal State Dominguez Hills. Played Beaverton, Oregon. Local high school there. Beaverton, a great town in Oregon. Rice converts on the free throw. And this game is deadlocked. Nielsen Skinner. Open, Miles Samuels out to Jay-Sean Moore on Saint. He rehashes his dribble. Samuels protecting against Saint, and Tijon Saint gets called on the foul.
Saint giving up a lot in height to the taller Saints players, but he's holding his own defensively. He's not afraid. He's getting up in their grill.
Great courage even when you are short in some respects.
I keep expecting the help side defense, but he keeps taking guys one-on-one.
Jay-Sean Moore straight to the bucket and scoring! Counted in the foul for Jay-Sean Moore.
That ends a 7-0 Viking run and gives the Saints the lead back.
7:56 to go in the first half. Forelli's Pizza has been locally owned and operated for almost 30 years and is the preferred pizza partner of Saints Athletics. Their top-of-the-line ingredients and quality service make for a one-of-a-kind experience that you can't beat. Try a slice for yourself at the concession stand, Marcus Pavilion, or head to their Hawks Prairie location to see what it's all about. 12 minutes into the contest, Danny Abak alongside Sean Wally. What has been a fun battle between these two GNAC rivals. It was close through and throughout the first time, and well, neck and neck through the ebbs and flows through game number 2.
Shooting. Apparently they need to figure out how to get the ball to fall through the hoop on both sides. St. Martin's 39%. Western, even worse, 33% from the field.
Ouch. Which is nowhere near the vicinity of their averages throughout the course of the season. Western Washington 48% from the field. For St. Martin's 44%, nowhere near any of those marks to begin this game.
Most likely it's going to get better for at least one of these teams. And if it does, that team will probably win the ball game.
How many points will it take to win this game?
Well, right now, it's looking like 50. But most likely, we'll see 60s, 70s.
60s, 70s, somewhere within that territory.
Depending if the ball starts falling through the hoop.
That's been the main question throughout the course of this day.
Of time.
Jay-Sean Moore puts in the free throw. 3-point lead for St. Martin's. Here comes Tijan Singh. Watched by Skinny. From the right side, Will Wilson on Oladele. Levesque back into the game. Here's Aiden Rice. Fakes it. On inside, impeded by Moore. Second chance for Levesque. And a foul called in the aftermath. It has been a physical game up to this point.
So many Saints on defense. Hard to not have a foul, and the whistle was finally blown.
Foul charged against Marcel Stevens. Garrett Levesque misses on the first free throw with Western Washington in the double bonus, and there's still plenty of time left in the half. Levesque converts on the second.
6 of 10 from the line for the Vikings.
Samuels to Oladele. Jay-Sean Moore surveys. Here's Marcel Stevens. Samuels towards the left side. Nielsen Skinner. Jay-Sean Moore straight to the bucket. Locked out a play by Levesque with 7:20 to go in the half. Skinny looks over the grid. Moore to Oladele. Stevens. Pass intended for Moore, taken away by Garrett Levesque. Wafted,
wow.
Will Wilson in stride. Open Rice, the three, got it!
Just how Tony Dominguez drew it up. Vikings have crawled all the way back.
Western has taken a 1-point lead with a timeout called. Vert Chiropractic is dedicated to providing top-notch care to the community of Lacey, Washington, and are proud partners of Saints Athletics. They prioritize the well-being of their patients, and their skilled team of professionals, state-of-the-art facilities, and wide array of services make for an extremely welcoming and comfortable environment. Head to vertchiropractic.org to learn more. Big game in the standings of the GNAC. There is a playoff scenario for Western Washington coming in today where they could have clinched. They needed an Alaska Anchorage loss to Alaska Fairbanks. Or Alaska Fairbanks lost to Alaska Anchorage. That did not happen. Fairbanks, a victor over Anchorage, 70-63. So Western, their magic number to clinch a GNAC spot is 2. St. Martin's not too far behind. Samuels off balance. Free throw garnished by Grant Kepley. Tijan Sane on the advance with Western Washington up by 1. Kepley on Jay-Sean Moore. Flexed out to Aiden Rice. On Moore. Right down the lane, Rice off the window.
Impressive drive, but you've got to be able to finish.
Stevens, hard pass. Nielsen Skinner goes for a lap. Oladele, open three. Missed everything. Kepley. Western Washington zooms on ahead. Wilson spins on the low block. Out to Aiden Rice. Here's Tijan Singh. Sane shoots the three and buries the triple.
St. Martin's does not want him to heat up.
Stevens to answer. Missed it. Rice to Wilson. Oladele forces the steal out of play. Possession will stay with Western Washington.
Saints over 2 minutes scoreless as the Viking lead is now 4. And really, if you're either team, but more specifically the Vikings right now because they have the lead, you just kind of shake your head and say, how are we winning this game right now? Because the numbers are just atrocious. 36% from the field for the Vikings, 34.5% for the Saints.
And one saving grace for Western has been their three-point shooting in some regards. But Western with a 4-point lead. Rice to Kepley. Here's Tijan Sane. Wilson on Trejo Delgado. From the low block, hard pass. Rice for three again. He's got another.
Will Wilson's court vision is impeccable.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Ege Pixart. Stevens closing on Wilson. Samuels from the right pocket. Dyson Lighthall surveys. Lighthall lunging a pass that leads to a foul. After all of this, with the haltage in play, called on Dejan Lott. For Lott, 2 years left of eligibility after playing JUCO ball. First 2 years, Ege Pixari. Out to Dyson Lighthall. Given to Ege Pixari. Trejo Delgado. Stevens for three. Welcome back into the lineup.
Stevens was hot earlier in this half, bringing the Saints within 4.
4:38 to go. Here's Tijan Sane. Will Wilson gives a gander. Right back to Sane. Long three. He's got it.
Looked good the second he let it fly. Sane is heating up.
He is on fire. How will the Saints respond? Stevens again? No. Tipped in. Trejo Delgado.
Great job around the rim. Good positioning, getting the tip.
Western has been sizzling from distance. Browsed on by Lott. Double team. Escorts for Sane. Tijan Sane closing. What a pass. Grant Kepley able to score.
Kepley with the hesitation, the up fake to get the defenders in the air. Easy bucket.
Western Washington scoring at will. They call timeout with 3:43 to go in the first half. So many answers for Western Washington up to this point. For over 70 years, Panowitz Jewelers has provided clients with exquisite beauty and unsurpassed quality from their spacious and accessible store in Olympia, Washington. Visit Panowitz.com for more information or stop by in person at 111 Market Street Northeast. Wow, Western Washington end to end. They're going with hitting from three. They've been doing everything right in this first half.
You make a couple buckets back to back, and it's funny how your field goal percentage improves to something a little more respectable. Western now at 45.5. Wow. Simple math.
You did mention one team heats up from shooting in the field from three. they're probably going to win the game, and still a long way to go, but Western in the driver's seat in this first half. For St. Martin's, this is a case where, sure, you got Marcel Stevens that's hitting several threes, the only threes up to this point, but the well has been dry for the Saints side.
Yeah, 37.9% from the field, not going to get it done on any night. And we know Tyler Velasquez and the Saints coaches understand that, and they're talking to their players. What do shooters do? They shoot. So you're not going to stop shooting the ball. You have to keep attempting to score, and eventually those shots should start falling.
Here's Miles Samuels on Grant Kepley. Stevens to Ege Pixari. Not much open. Instead, Saints able to generate a foul. Charged on Aiden Rice. 3:30 go. Both teams 17 foul for Western Washington. Sends Diego Trejo Delgado at the line. Trejo Delgado puts in the first. Generate a second chance at the line. 56% free throw shooter coming in. And he hits the second one. It took a while. Diego Trejo Delgado, when called upon, he can hit free throws. We saw that against Cal State East Bay in non-conference play. Sane to the corner, Wilson. Wilson right back out to Grant Kepley, closing on Ege Pexari. Short, Kepley again, able to put it in.
Kepley doing good things underneath for the Vikings as they lead by 7. Should mention that Sane, first player in double digits with 12.
Trejo Delgado on Wilson. Charge called. And for Diego Trejo Delgado, that leads to his second foul. 2:56 to go. So Western with 7-point lead. And the officials still tending to that moisture on the floor. So Grant Kepley patiently awaits. He does have family history with Western Washington. Older sister Gabby played on the volleyball team. Brother Garrison played on same men's team. Both parents. Father played soccer. Mom played on the women's team. Western, way of life for the Kepley household. Tijon Sane with the triple.
No foul as he's knocked down, but Sane hadn't scored in a few minutes, but staying hot with that three. Don't look now. 10-point lead for the Western Washington Vikings.
Samuels on Wilson. Ege Pexari. He'll back up on Mason Rice, who's seen consistent minutes. Trejo Delgado missed on the triple attempt.
Shots continue to not be falling for St. Martin's.
Can't be said for Western. Tijon Sane missed it that time. Kepley pursues the board. St. basketball with 2 minutes to go. Jaden Nielsen-Skinner will check in for Trejo Delgado for St. Martin's.
Saints only 16.7% from three. Conversely, Western Washington 50%.
Opportunistic outlook for Western Washington. Here's Ege Pexari. He'll close down the lane. Ege Pexari scores the bucket. Western expedites. Wilson on Ege Pexari. Stevens comes in to hound him, and a foul call.
Saints bench didn't like the call.
So again, Western heads to the free throw line with Will Wilson. You talk about accurate free throw shooting. Will Wilson is that exemplified, 87% free throw shooter. He misses on the first attempt. Wilson will vie for a second. 4 points so far. He's come in to the night, 10 straight games in double figures. Here's Nielsen Skinner. Lighthall. Hands off. Stevens for a triple. Popped out. Jay-Sean Moore can't corral the loose ball. Western breaks out. Ajon Lott back into the game for Western. Aiden Rice. Sane on Jay-Sean Moore. Look at Tijon Sane fly. He'll drive back down the lane. Faked by Kepley. Grant Kepley closes from an acute angle. Kepley punches one out of play. 54.6 left in the first half. St. Martin's has had end of half heroics. Jaden Nielsen Skinner, half court shot against Central Washington earlier this year. Skinny to Lighthall. Jay-Sean Moore. Plenty of time to work with for St. Martin's until a foul charge called on Marcel Stevens. 44 seconds left in the half.
Danny, we talked about shots should start falling, and they have for Western. They are 4 of their last 5 and 3 of their last 4 from 3.
Precision from Western Washington. They look to keep that up. Kepley briskly in, fakes the pass towards the right side. Will Wilson looking to close in with the reverse, blocked by Lighthall. 22 seconds left in the half. Ege Pexori, coast to coast, lost his dribble, kept it in play. Pinball saved by Moore. Lighthall on an island, closing and scoring.
A lot of contact down low. Nice use of the window. 5 seconds left.
Aiden Rice from the left side. Rice down the lane, elevates, missed it. First half comes to a close. Western Washington with a 39-32 lead on St. Martin's as we head into the break with action-packed first half. We got that through one half of play.
St. Martin's needs to figure things out. They say when a shooter is on, the basket looks bigger and larger, and that's why everything keeps falling. Right now, it's got to seem very small, that rim, when St. Martin's attacks. They need those shots to start falling.
And when you talk about they needing the shots for St. Martin's, there isn't one guy that stands out. Everyone on the floor so far for St. Martin's has scored. Dyson Lighthall, Marcel Stevens lead the way with 6 points. But everyone's contributing as far as the scoring department's concerned. So you have that going for you if you're Tyler Velasquez.
Getting everybody involved is nice for St. Martin's, but again, the issue being the 39% from the field as well as 15 from 3.
That's not good at all. A team that averages more than double that mark, 35%, the average on the year for the Saints. So not a good look for them. But for Western Washington, you rely heavily on Tijon Sane, and he's done that to this point. Surprising to see Will Wilson having a quiet first half, though.
He's had a couple good looks, but yeah, only 4 points. Will's been doing a really good job of getting the assists, finding the open player on the floor.
And then Grant Kepley, 7 points. Garrett Levesque with 5 as we manipulate our way through half. Big game as far as the standings are concerned in the GNAC. And this being a Saturday, 5 games on the slate as far as the men are concerned. The first game of note, battle between the top 2 teams in the GNAC, Central Washington and Seattle Pacific. Both teams red hot as of late, but it was Central Washington today that came away with the victory over Seattle Pacific. 2 teams that we'll be seeing later on here in Lacey for the GNAC tournament. But a look at the final statistics between Central and Seattle Pacific. 2-point win, 68-66 for Central on the road. 2 scorers over 20, Garrett Anderson with 22, Maverick Sanders with 20, and for Seattle Pacific, Jackson Knapp with 18, Mason Landek with 17 points, notably for Seattle Pacific. And Central Washington, they're all alone atop the GNAC with an 11-3 record. What a year for Brandon Renta's side.
They won the GNAC last year in the tournament, and they're playing like they are the team to beat right now.
And they were the favorite coming in this season in the GNAC. They were ranked tops in the conference, and they are up to that point. And for Central Washington, they are on the cusp of clinching the regular season title in the GNAC, and one of the teams that could be standing in their way, St. Martin's next week. But huge win for Central Washington. Another game of note, Alaska Fairbanks against Alaska Anchorage. And it's Alaska Fairbanks that comes away with a key win that ups their record to 6-8. They are the last team out as far as the GNAC is concerned. So a key win for Alaska Fairbanks. And in that contest, another game in the GNAC, Simon Fraser after their victory against Western Oregon. No surprise for the offensive display. Irish Kokia, 22 points, 6 of 10 from 3. Zach Stone, after having not played until the middle of January, he has himself a cornerstone day. 21 points in the win for Simon Fraser. Anjay Cortez, 21 points in the last for Western Oregon. But for Simon Fraser, this is a team that nobody wants to see later on in the season, but it might be a little too late.
The top 6 make the tournament, which will be right here inside Marcus Pavilion, the first full weekend in March. It's always a fun, exciting time. Just get in. That's all you got to do. Just get in, and you never know what can happen.
Now, we do know that Central Washington has clinched their spot in the GNAC tournament. That's already been put in. Alaska Fairbanks, although since they won, no one else has clinched in the GNAC up to this point. But we do know who else will be in the GNAC tournament. The Western Washington women will be there after Simon Fraser's women's team lost to Alaska Anchorage. Western Washington once again back in the GNAC tournament.
Vikings have had, on the women's side, some injuries early on. They were playing very well until they ran in to Ryan McCarthy's Seawolves on Thursday night.
They are, well, Alaska Anchorage is, in many regards, they are a buzzsaw. They have won and won at will, and in their game against Western Washington, well, it did not turn into a game very quickly for Western Washington, where in the end, Seawolves come away with a resounding victory over Western Washington in Carver Gym, a difficult place to play, no less, winning that game by the count of 72-40. And Carmen Dolfo teams, they don't get beat this bad.
I was shocked when I saw the score. I checked in on the live broadcast on Vikings TV, and wow.
And by the way, special shout out to the folks at Vikings TV. They do an incredible job up at Carver Gym with their broadcast work. Jeff Evans, great leader for Western Washington on the SID side. Jeff Evans?
Who?
Jeff Evans?
Never heard of him.
Oh, okay. I hope, Jeff, you heard that. But all kidding aside, for the GNAC playoffs, still a major game that will keep an eye out during the course of this stretch. Also, other scores from around the sporting world. World Cup of Hockey going on. A huge win for Finland over Sweden. Kyle Granlund with an overtime winning goal for the Finns. They beat Sweden, and it is a free-for-all race, but the big game happening right this moment between the United States and Canada. They are in the first period. Connor McDavid with the opening goal for Canada, 5:31 into the contest, and then the Americans responded to tie it up with Jake Gensel at 10:15, deadlocked at 1 apiece in the Four Nations hockey tournament. United States, if they were to win, they would clinch a spot in the gold medal game of Four Nations play. Well, 7 minutes before we start the second half, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back for more right after this here on the Saints Digital Network. Start of the second half between Western Washington and St. Martin's. Western with a 7-point lead. Danny Bach alongside Sean Wally. And Sean, Western Washington has been on a red-hot streak, and they've continued that. What must they do to close out the second half on top?
Well, part of the good news for Western Washington is they are 10-4 when they have a lead at halftime. So that is good news for the Vikings and their faithful as we get set for the second half. They just need the shots to continue to fall. 41% on the first half for field goal shooting for the Vikings. Meanwhile, St. Martin's 39%. So both teams still right there in terms of similar field goal percentages. Difference being St. Martin's not hitting threes, 2 of 13, where Western Washington 50%, 7 of 14, and they're getting to the line, 8 of 12 for the Vikings.
Leading at half is so key for St. Martin's. The Saints 14-2 when leading at the half. When they're down, like they were against Simon Fraser, 4-5. So quite the difference between those two. And Western, when you have the lead, good things tend to happen. We'll see what happens in half number 2. Associate head coach Tyler Velasquez looks into the drawing board, see what the Saints can do here, down by 7. Dyson Lighthall will get us back into play here in Lacey. Saints with some work to do. A loss today would put Western in the 4th place spot in the GNAC.
A little bit of breathing room.
Lighthall off the window and in. Sorry, Parker.
A little bit of breathing room for whoever wins this game to get closer to punching that ticket to the GNAC tournament.
Both teams will have to play Central Northwest Nazarene to close out the season. Saints will do that next week. Deflected out of play by Ege Pexari. On the pass for Will Wilson. Western Washington basketball from the sideline. So for Western, they'll have a little bit of a bye, you can call it, against Simon Fraser next week. And then they host Central and then Northwest Nazarene.
Always good to get those two top teams at home.
The triple put in from Trevor White. Western continues to pour it on out of the gate in the second half. Nielsen Skinner. Look at him dash to the rack and score. Jaden Nielsen Skinner able to score for St. Martin's. Lead is 6 for Western. White to Levesque for Sane to Wilson. Will Wilson driving down the lane and scoring. Teams trading bucket for bucket.
So far, shooting much better than the first half.
Skinny coast to coast.
Nobody stops Skinny.
Turnover. Marcel Stevens briskly ahead. Partial 3-on-2. Lighthall rolls in. Back-to-back buckets for St. Martin's, and it's a 4-point game. Quickly, open Trevor White, closing on Lighthall. Here comes Garrett Levesque with the spin move. Open Trevor White, buried it.
White's first 2 buckets of the game here in the second half.
Both of them from deep. Trejo Delgado finds Lighthall in the post and scoring.
You can't let any big man get that close to the rim, under the hoop.
Especially as versatile as a threat. Dyson Lighthall is. Tijon Sane. And in they go. And Tyler Velasquez has seen enough. He angrily calls timeout.
Sane now with 17 to lead all scorers.
And for St. Martin's, you're down by 7. You can't be allowing bucket for bucket at this stage.
Defense, if they want to get back in this game, which they're not anywhere near out of it, down 7. But you have to get stops in order to climb back in.
Saints, one of the better defensive teams over the course of this season. They've let their guard down recently in that regard, but still have plenty of time to work with. 2:03 in. Tyler Velasquez with a timeout, and we mentioned it all across this evening. Ebbs and flows. Can they come up with one?
There's runs all the time in basketball, and the Saints will have at least one more in them, probably more than that. We still have most of the second half to go, but they've got to get down to business on defense.
First half, though, there was some dry spells with no scoring, and now both teams scoring at will. But now, with the game taking another wrinkle, what will be next in this chapter?
It's like they flipped a switch at halftime. Shots starting to fall for both sides.
You got to love it. Unless you're for one of these teams, then darn near all of us. So off we go with the emotions of a game like this one. One stat to keep in mind, points in the paint favor St. Martin's 32-14. Category that they dominate in. Stevens finds Ege Pixari. Trejo Delgado closing on Levesque. Trejo Delgado had it short. Western able to escape. Grant Kepley lunging. No. Saints with a defensive stop. Skinny. Trejo Delgado wasn't ready for it.
Good vision from Skinny. Not on the same page, though, as Trejo Delgado.
Here comes Tijan Singh for Western Washington. Having another efficient scoring day. Down the lane, Singh blocked by Lighthall. Last touch off of Dyson Lighthall, the senior. And Western Washington inbound from the end line with Grant Kepley. Off his dribble, off the left hand. To the pocket corner. Trevor White lunging, blocked by Lighthall. Skinny, look at him fly. He'll slow it. Marcel Stevens for three. Missed it badly.
Super short as he let it go.
Wilson on Trejo Delgado. Faked upon by White. Here's Tijan Singh. Look at him along the end line. Wilson lobbed it, picked off by Marcel Stevens. 5-on-2 for St. Martin's. Lighthall down the lane, blocked by White.
Great job by White not to commit the foul. Be prepared and ready for the block.
Both teams have been scoreless off numerous trips.
Saints have 42 in this game. 32 of them have come in the paint. The outside shot not falling. They need to continue to attack the rack.
Stevens has scored from that spot, from beyond the arc, and he'll hope to earn his scoring from the free throw line after the foul called on Grant Kepley for Western Washington. 16:29 left in the game. So Marcel Stevens to the free throw line. Good to see him back into the lineup. Book on Stevens. 12 of the last 13 games. Stevens has been in double figures. This free throw conversion puts him at 7. And the lead diminished to 6 for St. Martin's. Stevens missed on the free throw attempt. Going 1 for 2. Levesque on Skinny. Missed on the dunk attempt. And White lost it. Diego Trejo Delgado on Kepley. Lost his balance. Ege Pixari scores.
No travel called there. That was interesting. But hey, Saints attacking the rack. Good things happen.
And the lead down to 4. Roused by Wilson. Out to Levesque. Levesque will take the 3 and sink it. 7-point lead restored for Western Washington.
9 of 13 from beyond the arc for the Vikings.
Lethal combination. Trejo Delgado. Kickstarts Skinny to the bucket. Fell out. Zane. Wilson explodes, blocked by Trejo Delgado.
That's 3 blocks in the second half for St. Martin's.
Resurgence in denials with a timeout called. Saints fans, stay up to date on all things Saints at smusaints.com or their website at smusaints.com. Well, we are right where we started, 7-point lead around halftime. Still a 7-point game as we trip it into a media timeout. And for St. Martin's, they got a little bit of a run, but Western Washington, they replenished that cushion.
Saints shooting better to start this second half. They've upped their game average to 44.2%, which is getting better, but they're not getting enough stops on the defensive end, even though they've had a few blocks and a turnover.
They have had more of a defensive edge, but now, well, we talked about offense early on. Now it's all about the defense. So it seems that both teams in step with each other in many regards. But what's been impressive up to this point, well, Tijon Sane already his normal self, 17 points. Maybe not his 37-point effort against Western Oregon, but his impact still fell on the floor. Sane is parked to the right side, and Aiden Rice to send it in. Sane emerges open quickly with speed off the glass, and Sane will head to the free throw line.
Saints hit 4 of 5 from the line so far tonight. 17 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds. Make it 18.
For Tijon Sane, last year, GNAC Freshman of the Year. Product of Mariner High School. He was efficient then, and he's efficient today. 2 for 2. Saints need to find something. Enge Pixari. Trejo Delgado emerges open in the post and scores.
Wilson a step or two too late to get the help side defense. Easy bucket for Trejo Delgado.
Tijon Sane out to Grant Kepley. Wilson. Western looking to get back in the scoring category briskly, with hopes to respond. Kepley. Jared Levesque sends Aiden Rice. Dropped it. Kepley impeded. A foul called on Marcel Stevens.
On a 3-point attempt. You never like to see that. That's 4 on Stevens.
Not a pleasant return for Marcel Stevens. Here is Grant Kepley at the line.
His first free throws, he'll get 3.
83% on the year. He misses on the first attempt. Second try on the way.
Since this is a road game for Western Washington, depending on who you talk to, this might be the #1 TV show in Bellingham right now. You've got guys like Butch Kamina, analyst on Vikings TV watching. Ryder Cunningham, 22-year manager for men's basketball at Western Washington. And, of course, the aforementioned Jeff Evans checking in on his squad.
A lot of great folks up there in Bellingham. Trejo Delgado in the post.
Wow.
Looking for
Where
Ege
was
Pixari, and he
that
found
going?
the garbage can. Not what you're looking for as far as pass is concerned. Western.
Would we have given him points if it went in the garbage can?
I would have. Then again, I'm not wearing the zebra uniform, nor do I want to. Always great to have the contributions of our officials. Here's Wilson, missed everything. Ege Pixari Lunging one, Jay-Sean Moore scores. Great vision for Mega Apex. Sorry, Wilson, Rice, Sane again to Will Wilson. Wilson shaking big down the lane, lost his balance. Levesque gave it away. Miles Samuels on the run with Jay-Sean Moore. Samuels scores!
Back-to-back good buckets for the Saints. They trail by 5.
Here comes Sane. Tijon Sane, he is insane! Counter the foul for Tijon Sane!
21 for the motor for the Vikings. Back to a 7-point lead for Western Washington.
Is Tijon Sane human? This is remarkable. 2nd and 1 for Sane in the game. So Sane with hopes to complete the 3-point play. He does. Right when the Saints scored on unanswered buckets, Western responds emphatically. Samuels, he'll explode to the bucket and score himself. Count the foul for Miles Samuels.
Samuels could be the spark the Saints need. Got the contact, took it to the rack, and hopefully an and one.
Samuels, who did not score against Simon Fraser, with a productive day up to this stage. Samuels has it continue with the free throw conversion. Back down to a 5-point game. Here comes Tijon Sane. Off the Levesque screen. Sane right back out to Trevor White. Aiden Rice. Finds Sane to Rice to Kepley. Grant Kepley spinning on Egg Apex. Sorry, able to score.
What a job by Kepley. Spinning, trying to get contact. More importantly, got the bucket.
Nielsen Skinner. Plenty of miles ran and no bucket. Lost it.
Wow.
Moore wasn't ready for it, and instead he commits the foul. How brutal is that?
Ball just was hidden from his vision. Right there to grab, couldn't do it. Sane finds it and gets knocked to Twin Star Credit Union Court.
What a inauspicious sequence for Jay-Sean Moore. Only his 2nd personal. Here's Grant Kepley. Finds Levesque on Lighthall. Wide open, Aiden Rice with the 3.
He's done that at each end of the floor. Saints tie their, or I should say Vikings tie their largest lead of 10.
Kick ball. Possession stays with St. Martin's with 12:25 to go in the half. Emmanuel Adele will replace Ege Pexari. And Trejo Delgado in for Dyson Lighthall. Diego Trejo Delgado. And the foul is called on Saint. Tijon Sane afflicted with the foul call.
He doesn't like the call, but guys never do when it's on them.
Name someone that was happy with a foul called on them. That's what I thought.
Silence. Nobody in the history of ever.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll think about that later on. Here's Emmanuel Oladele. On inside, Jay-Sean Moore. Lunging and scoring. Jay-Sean Moore able to score. He was looking for a foul call, but the paid officials by the NCAA said otherwise. Trevor White on Trejo Delgado. Lost it out of play. Saint basketball. With a break in the action with 11:50 to go. For over 40 years, O'Blarney's Irish Pub has been serving up delicious Irish-inspired dishes alongside all your favorite American classics, making it the go-to spot for a great meal in the Olympia area. Whether you're craving a hearty shepherd's pie, a classic burger, or something in between, O'Blarney's has something for everyone. Plus, don't miss Wing Wednesday, featuring unbeatable deals and on wings every week. As a proud partner of Saints Athletics, this local favorite is more than just a pub, it's a community staple. Stop by for a bite, raise a glass, and experience the tradition for yourself. Learn more at o'blarneyspub.com. 11:50 to go. Danny DeBach alongside Sean Wally. And for St. Martin's, you're down and foul trouble hunting you.
Interesting note, though, St. Martin's has now taken the lead in high of field goal shooting, 49%. Western has dipped to 46.5. Interesting to see how this all evens out, irons out at the end of this one.
And when you look at offensive rebounds, a category that was proficiently dominated by St. Martin's last week against Western Oregon, 19-1, even 7 apiece. Rebounding has been almost negligible as far as the difference is concerned. Western does have the edge, 28-24 in that regard. We're back in play. Samuels. Trejo Delgado gives a gander and finds Miles Samuels on Aiden Rice. He'll shoot and score. 6-point game. Here's Grant Kepley. Surrounded by Oladele. Tijon Sane. He'll drop it. Trevor White. Backpedals. Infighting between Levesque and Moore. Here is Levesque. Expedited for Rice. Missed it. White. Offensive board. Finding Levesque. Out to Aiden Rice. Here is Sane. Tijon Sane to White again. Trevor White scores. What a sequence.
Strong drive by White. Right side of the lane open for him.
Western kept it moving. 8-point lead. Here's Nielsen Skinner. Fakes it. Oladele. Finds Jay-Sean Moore. Harassed by Kepley. Samuels again. Trying to kickstart St. Martin's. He adds to the Saints total. It's a 6-point game. 10:20 to go. So here is Sane. Sane with time to Levesque. Ranged for Aiden Rice. Sane again. No look pass. Levesque for the flush.
He got lost. Lost in the woods. Found the rim.
Back up to an 8-point lead. Grant Kepley on the steal. Riding in alone for the layup.
Everything going right for the Vikings as they're back to a 10-point lead.
Samuels to answer. He can't. Sane. Western in full rhythm. Rice gave it away. Moore on the deck. Lost it. Not enough for Oladele to keep it in play. Western looks to add to their lead. Will Wilson checks back in place of Trevor White.
A lot of the little things adding up against St. Martin's right now. Even that right there, you think they have a turnover, and they can't handle the ball, and it rolls out of bounds back to the Vikings, and they have a 10-point lead.
It's a case not of how you start, but how you finish. 9:15 to go. Sane. He'll shoot from the arm joint. Trejo Delgado They have tipped the shot. Samuels to Trejo. Delgado missed everything. Kepley. Rice in stride.
And here's the head scratcher. If you're Tyler Velasquez and the Saints, they're shooting over 67% in the second half, yet the lead has grown for the Vikings.
What do we have here? A foul in the aftermath, but
this is why math never worked for me.
yes. You're
the Saints shooting 65% now after that last miss, but the halftime lead has grown to now 10.
Yeah, there's a lot. Well, offensively, yeah. The problem is not offense. How do you stop Western? That's the question. And for the Viking side, a lot of time of possession, long trips on offense. Not that time. Saints hope find something here.
St. Martin's has to take advantage of these opportunities when they get a turnover, when Western doesn't score, so they can chip away at this deficit.
Talk about important possessions. This is one of them. Samuels can't find the hoop. And possession goes to Western. So for Western Washington, this was a team at one point that started conference play 0-5. But a season-turning 7-game win streak has turned it around. Wilson surveys. Will Wilson, 4-3. No. Kepley is there. He scores off the rebound.
You can't let that happen if you're St. Martin's. A great job by Kepley. Right place, right time. Largest lead of the game for Western is 12.
Skinny reversed. Lighthall missed it. More pinballs to Stevens. He'll shoot the three. And additionally, misfire. Quickly ahead, Aiden Rice spindled it in. 14-point lead, Western Washington with all the momentum, up by 2 touchdowns with 7:23 left.
A bit of a cheer heard from the crowd. Some Western faithful here watching in Lacey.
Making the trip from up north. At Twin Star Credit Union, it's more than just about providing a top-notch banking experience for our members. We have a long and proud history of investing in the communities we serve. Last year, we donated more than $1 million to help support local organizations, schools, and causes. We believe that everyone benefits from strong and vibrant communities. Stop by one of our local branches or visit twinstarcu.com to learn more. Ernie Bach alongside Sean Wally, and Western Washington with plenty of opportunities. They are on a scoring run of 10-2 in the last 4 minutes. They have found every single way to find production on the offensive end.
You mentioned it earlier. Western started 0-4 in GNAC play. Do the math. They're 8-6. So they've gone 8-2 in their last 10, winning 8 of 9 and 7 straight before their only loss, a buzzer beater 3 to Seattle Pacific. What a job by Tony Dominguez, AJ Albritton, Bob Hofstetter. Just something switched because they were staring 0-4 in conference in the face.
And they turned things around in a big way. And, well, if they were to win today, they would be in 4th in the conference. And I wonder what happened to the 4th seed last year GNAC tournament.
You know, rightfully so. Nobody wants to deal with Central Washington right now because they're tops in the conference. We talked about it. They won the tournament last year. But I don't think anybody wants this Western team right now either.
shoot, them, Seattle Pacific, and, well, we do know who is going to be at the GNAC tournament. You are, Sean.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Be great to have you.
Myself, Dustin Daniel, reunited for the GNAC tournament, March 6, 7, and 8, right here at Marcus Pavilion.
Be such a pleasure to watch you on the call. 3 missed by Marcel Stevens. Possession goes to Western. And for St. Martin's, if they can't come back in this game, a lot of soul searching for them. They played a good overall game against Simon Fraser, only to come up short. Western, precise on offense with all the answers today. Aiden Rice can't add to the Western mark. Ege Pexari escapes for the Saints off of Levesque. Out of play. Possession will stay with the Saints with 6:37 to go. So here's Jaden Nielsen Skinner to inbound from the inline for St. Martin's. Lighthall out to Stevens to Miles Samuels. Samuels lost it in the lane. Levesque came away with the loose change.
Looks like he might have tweaked something.
Haltage in play with 6:29 to go. Jacob Harper will see his first action today for St. Martin's. 6:29 to go. Jacob Harper, if you're looking for a spark for the Saints, he provides that from perimeter shooting. Here's Tijon Sane, inching his way closer to a double-double, 22 and 7 helpers. Here's Sane again. Nielsen Skinner from the end line. Watch.
2 to shoot.
He's got to put one up, and he does here. Can't find the scoring. Lighthall able to save it. Skinny. Harper in stride, buries the 3. 11-point game with 5:45 to go. The Saints have had a habit of coming back from down 15. They've done it twice in the last few weeks. Meanwhile, here is Trevor White. Sane breaks and spins out of the pack and scores! He is unconscious!
He can do it all. It's the little engine that could, and he takes a charge. Just getting ran over in the lane, and looks like he is not feeling good on the floor.
So Sane be attended to by the training staff, and Sane quickly to his feet, able to shake it off. And if anyone deserves a rest, it would be Tijon Sane. He remains on the floor. Absolutely remarkable, Tijon Sane.
He's played every second of this ball game. Over 35 minutes.
He can score on all 3 levels. Kepley on Ege Pixari. Looking for help, finding Levesque. In through the middle for Trevor White. White scores. Stevens with 4 fouls had to give way. 15-point game with 4:48 to go. Skinny with the jumper that pops in.
Saints need a lot more of that if they want to get back in this one down 13.
Here is Tijon Sane. Through the zone defense of St. Martin's. Levesque blocked by Lighthall again. Saints break out 3-on-2. Skinny 4-3. Not this time. Stevens with the board. Finding Harper, who scores. Jacob Harper, back-to-back buckets. Left unanswered by St. Martin's. Still a tall mountain to climb.
Vikings have been happy to use clock of late.
Stevens with 4 fouls. All lost out of play. Possession will stay with Western Washington, much to the consternation of the Lacey faithful. And Saints do implore for a review. This is the angle where the review would come from. We'll see what happens as a result of all this. The officials still in conversation about it. Stay up to date on all things Saints by following us on social media at SMU Saints, by heading to our website at smusaints.com. Big day for Saints athletics today. That also included a lot of highlights on the softball field. A walk-off victory against Corbin earlier today. 2-1 victory. Heather Ebner with the walk-off in the bottom of the 7th. Saints able to score both their runs in the bottom half of the 7th in a 2-1 victory. Good to see Saints on a winning note in that regard. And for St. Martin's baseball, well, they are scoring plenty of runs, playing doubleheader against Bushnell. Although they dropped both those games. First game they dropped 13-12. Even though the Saints were able to score 8 runs in the last 2 innings, then 8-7 defeat to Bushnell, generating 10 hits on the day. So, all things considered, spring sports for St. Martin's in full swing. We'll have coverage with our coaches show that will head into spring season every Wednesday morning. Straight to the bucket, Rice while tumbling, saved alertly by Levesque. Kepley. Defended by Jacob Harper. What a matchup.
6 to shoot.
Flown, saved by Wilson. Sane, got another one.
Wow. What can he not do? Sane with 27 tonight.
Skinny to answer. He does. 3:10 to go. Western content to bleed the clock down.
12 now for Skinny. That's his first 3 made of the game.
3 Saints in double figures.
Saints 4 of 21 from 3.
Kepley into traffic. Stevens comes away with the theft.
Saints have an opportunity
Stevens takes it for the
to get it to single digits, and they do.
Can they come up with another stop? 2:30 to go. Wilson on Ege Pixari, and the contact called on the senior. Omer Ege Pixari charged with his 3rd foul. Diego Trejo Delgado with 4 fouls back into the game for St. Martin's.
Got to put all your horses out there for the final 2:27 if you're Tyler Velasquez and you want to get back in this one, down 9.
This is where you go for broke. With a 9-point deficit, Wilson puts in the free throw. Inflated back up to double digits for Western.
You mentioned coaches shows. You're hosting all of those here at St. Martin's, and you've talked to Tyler Velasquez many times. What's he had to say recently about how the season's going and basically being point man this season with Aaron Landon kind of allowing him to act as head coach?
Tyler Velasquez has done a great job. Skinny lost it. Western Washington able to escape. Rice dumped it to Kepley. Sane on Harper. Stevens with 4 fouls. Skied. Kepley wide open. White to Rice. And the foul finally is called. Ege Pixari picks up his 4th. With 2:03 to go. Western Washington, should they hang on to win, will be in 4th place in the conference.
It's a good place to be. Get out of that 5th spot with Billings right on their heels, also at 8-6.
But then again, it's all negligible whether you're the 4th or the 5th seed in the end, so see how that plays itself out with playoff seeding as we head in through the final weeks of the year. Free throw dished in from Aiden Rice.
Rice has 15, as does Kepley for Western. White and Levesque double digits as well with 10.
For Aiden Rice, that is his season high for the freshman. Tony Dominguez with lifelines all across the lineup. But a breakout game from Aiden Rice today.
Just a freshman. Man, if Tony can keep him around 4 years.
Look out, Gina. His sister Emily plays for the soccer team for Western. Oladele out to Marcel Stevens, jacking up a 3. Flanked off the rim and out. Skinny with the board. Harper for the triple. Not this time. Oladele fearlessly for the offensive board. He gave it away to Kepley. Harper with the pursuit. Missed it. Second try. He's able to score. 11-point game, though, with 94 seconds left.
Only 4 made 3-pointers all game for the Saints.
2 of them from Jacob Harper. Here is Grant Kepley to Rice. Through the backcourt, deflected though. Kepley straight to the bucket. Up and under for Trevor White with 65 seconds left. Stevens on ahead. He'll shoot the 3. He missed it. Pinballed out by Skinny. Oladele, his 3 sinks in. 10-point game with 56 seconds left. Another key 3. And just to confirm, beg your pardon, Marcel Stevens with the 2 threes. Jacob Harper had one briskly off the bench, but the 3 from Oladele makes it a 10-point game. Western Washington with a mini bye week next week against Simon Fraser on Saturday up at Carver Gym. So it's always a fun matchup between those geographical rivals, Simon Fraser, Western Washington. Close game the first time those 2 teams met with a buzzer beater at the end from Garrett Levesque last time. So should be a fun one next week for the folks up at Vikings TV.
And Simon Fraser playing well. He can't be taken lightly as the Vikings need to finish strong and punch that ticket into the tournament.
For St. Martin's, after today, they will head on their road trip that begins in Nampa against Northwest Nazarene, and then Central Washington to close out road play. And then after that, it's home the rest of the way, welcoming the Alaska schools. And then we'll see after that. But first, Fairbanks will come into town on Thursday the 27th, and then Alaska Anchorage in the season finale. And then we'll see after that.
Can the Alaska schools play spoiler? Can the Saints get back to their winning ways? And they're hosting the tournament, so you definitely want to get in as the host school.
Jay Sean Moore commits the foul, and we'll be seeing free throws the rest of the way out. St. Martin's early on this season wins against Northwest Nazarene and Central Washington at home in what was one of the more successful weeks for the Saints on the year. They had a 24-0 run to end the first half against Central Washington, then a 15-point comeback against Northwest Nazarene. Let's see what happens with the Saints on the road. Free throw missed from Garrett Levesque. Harper, look at him drive down the lane. Able to generate the foul call with 48 seconds left. So the level of optimism you could have for the Saints, their final 4 opponents, they've already beaten the first time they played them. For Western Washington, able to beat Simon Fraser, but losses against Central and Northwest Nazarene. Harper at the line, puts in the free throw. But as much as you can look ahead at matchups and how they did last time, this is a completely different Western Washington team from the beginning of the year.
Yeah, to start 0-4 and think your season is quickly tumbling the wrong direction. And now here they are about to be 9-6 in conference and move up the standings ladder.
Incredible from this Western Washington team. What a story they have been. And this was a stretch for Western where recent history has not been in their favor since they won the GNAC championship back in 2020. They have finished in 8th, 7th, and 7th as far as the GNAC standings is concerned. St. puts the Viking lead up to 10.
It's been a minute since Tony Dominguez had his team in the GNAC tournament, and they're looking to change that.
Oladele scores for St. Martin's. Looked upon by Kepley. Oladele commits the foul on Aiden Rice, who has had a breakout game. He was intricate for Beaverton, heading to the 6A semifinal in high school. Now he's doing it on the big stage here in college. 3 of 9 from beyond the arc, 15 points, make it 16. Breakout day for Aiden Rice. Western Washington putting on a clinic, 91 points.
The Vikings are 1 3-pointer from having a 10-game win streak. Let that sink in. SPU beat them on a final second buzzer beater 3. If that didn't fall, that's a 10-game winning streak for Tony Dominguez and the Western Washington Vikings. Talk about impressive.
This is a team that nobody wants to see. Western out for a statement. Jay-Sean Moore kicked it to Nielsen Skinner for 3. Missed it. Stevens with the board. The offensive glass blocked by White. Western breaks out. St. Martin's won't foul. And Western Washington hunting for the playoffs with a statement win against St. Martin's. They win it 91-81 thanks to 29 points from Tijon Sane and 17 from Aiden Rice.
In the first half, we didn't think we'd see 91 points on the board, did we?
Not at all.
Maybe combined.
But not for Western. And for Western Washington, second most points they've allowed all season.
52 points scored by the Vikings in the second half. Saints right there with them, 49, but the issue was they were already trailing by 7 at the half.
At part of the margin. So for Western Washington, anyone who scored had themselves a really good day. Surprisingly, Will Wilson, 10-game double-digit point streak. That comes to a surprising end.
Just 8 tonight for Wilson, but hey, he'll take the W all day and twice on Sunday.
Twice on Sunday. Well, a look at some of the final scores. Tijan Sane, he was so huge for Western Washington. First, he had 37 points on Thursday, then 29 points today. There could good hunch that GNAC Player of the Week honors be awfully hard to go against Tijan Sane.
37 followed up with 29, 8 of 14 shooting, including 4 of 7 from deep. Not to be forgotten, 90% from the free throw line, 9 of 10.
Wow. Tijan Sane, incredible. Grant Kepley had 15 points. Trevor White with 12. Garrett Levesque finishes with 10 points and 9 boards, just shy of a double-double. But Aiden Rice, I'm sure Tijan Sane with the main story, but Aiden Rice coming virtually out of nowhere, averaging 4.7 points a game this year, and Rice with his best day as a Viking. Impressive effort for Western Washington in the win.
If you're Tyler Velasquez, Aaron Landon, go back to the drawing board. What do you do to get right?
With 2 losses in a row.
At home, too.
Additionally, now you go on the road, and any road trip in the GNAC is tough, but especially #1 team in the conference in Central Northwest Nazarene, not too far behind. They're in 3rd, so you play against 2 top teams in the GNAC. And the Saints have to look for answers here after a weekend where they were hoping for at least 1 win, but they come out with a goose egg. And for the Saints offense, Skinny, 12 points, 13-point average this week. Dyson Lighthall, he was good to start. Jacob Harper, surprisingly, did well off the bench with 9 points. Miles Samuels, there were spurts where he started to heat up. But for the Saints, field goal percentage, the woes in the first half, and then when you're behind the 8 ball, it's tough to come back from.
Specifically the three-point shooting, 5 of 27, just 18.5%. That's never going to get it done. I don't care who you're playing, but if you're shooting yourself in the foot, you got to fix that and get that shot to fall or stop shooting them at some point.
Back to the drawing board, the Saints will go. Western Washington a 91-81 lead. But that's all the time that we have for today's broadcast. Sean Wally, always a pleasure to have you along. Looking forward to seeing you for the GNAC tournament in 2 weeks.
I'd ask you if you were going to be here, but you're going to be without a voice as well. You'll be at the Tacoma Dome for the high school 3 and 4A basketball tournament that I will be missing because I will be here at the GNAC tournament.
Well, it'll be fun to listen to you while I have you in my right ear while I'm calling high school basketball. See what the bosses, another network, might say about that, but it'll be fun stretch one way or the other.
You can multitask.
Yeah, done it. Can't say I'm proud of it. But once again, special thank you, Sean, for jumping in here this evening.
Thanks for having me, sir. Always a good time.
Always is a special time indeed. Also, special thank you to our SID, Matt Schwarzler, for providing all the production work today.
Schwarzler.
He has
always fun to say.
That's a fun one. Say that 10 times faster. We'll do that as we head into the evening.
That should be on the menu at O'Blarney's.
Uh-oh.
I'll take a Schwarzler, please.
What's in it?
I'm not going there.
Oh, okay. All right. I think it's time for us to head out, but special thank you to everyone. I'm Danny Box saying so long and take care, and thanks for letting us be a part of your evening. Your final score, Western Washington 91,